What's up, true crime besties? What's up, my babies? Lamont at large. Today, we're in Truckee, California. I'm walking on the same dirt road that Kiely Rodney drove down going to the reservoir where she crashed her car right into the water. As you know, on this channel, I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of uninteresting facts. I'm not going to present you any lies or innuendo like other true crime YouTubers do. We get straight into the story, facts only on this channel. We're going to go back to August 6th of 2022. Just over that tree line is the Prosser family campground. And on that evening, there is a party going on, a big party going on. As a matter of fact, you might even say a huge party. There is at least 200 kids attending this shindig. And some would even say there was 300 people there. And one of those kids that was there that night was 16-year-old Kiely Rodney. So she's attending this party, and according to white witnesses, she's drinking and having a good time. Obviously, she's drinking too much. And I don't know how tall she was or how much she weighed, but she looked like a small frame girl. So it would not take too much alcohol in her system to get her drunk. Now we fast forward to midnight. So it's midnight and Kiely says, hey, it's either I got to be home, it's my curfew, or, I got to go, things are getting too crazy. And Kiely, she's inebriated, okay? She's had way too much to drink. Yet nobody stops her from getting into her 2013 silver Honda CR-V. So she says goodbye to her friends. Her friends think that she's fine to drive. So she pulls out of the campground, hangs a right, and goes down that road right over there. But for some unknown reason, instead of going straight onto the road, she makes a left onto this dirt road right here. So she's going down this dirt road. Now, we don't know how fast she was going because none of us were there. None of us were in the car with her. Nobody is responsible for this except Kiely Rodney. She comes down this dirt path right here. And again, we're really not sure how fast she's going. But I could tell you this. As she's driving down this dark road, there is no lights except for her own headlights, and she can't see a thing. Her vision is blurred, and she is making a very, very bad judgment. But like I said, she's had way too much to drink. And as she continues down this dirt path, she gets right to the edge of the Prosser Reservoir Lake. And she plunges right into the water. No telling how fast she was going. And while she's trapped in her car, she starts to panic. And she's trying to probably to beat the glass to break it to get out of the car because the water is now rushing very fast into the car and she is scared. And she probably starts screaming and panicking. And while she's screaming and panicking, all those kids are right about maybe 1,200 feet away, if that, right at that campground. And no one can hear her scream because she has her windows rolled up. Now, summertime is going to be hot in the daytime, but it's going to be pretty cool at night. She probably has her AC on, and sadly, she drowned to death. Right here is where she would have hit the water. Her car was found 2 weeks later, about 50 feet out into the water, 14 feet down. Now, let's break down the case, because basically I just told you what happened and it should be the end of the video. As a matter of fact, I shouldn't be here because I should have never heard about this story. But the reason why I'm here is because this story was made into this wild and crazy conspiracy theory about a girl's possible murder, and it turned into a whodunit. Who did what? Who's guilty? So you had a bunch of true crime YouTubers who love to stir up drama. And that's really what they do. And some of them do it very well. And some of you guys watching this video, you watch them on a daily basis. And some of these true crime YouTubers, they have no content. Their content is to make up salacious lies and accusations and to defame people's character. But two YouTubers that I know of went in on this story and try to make it some kind of a conspiracy case. I don't need to mention who they are. We already know. We already know exactly who their names are. But one of them in particular, with her red flag warning, red flag, waving her red flag, red flag, stop right there. These clowns, these two clowns, I mean, there's probably 20 clowns, but these two clowns, because they got the biggest channel, they got all the subscribers. These clowns didn't come out where I came out. No, these two knuckleheads, they sit in the comfort of their own home and they just pick off stories as however they seem fit, right? And they do it from the comfort of their own home. And I'm not hating them for that, because let me tell you something. If I had it like that, I'd probably be doing it too, but I wouldn't be interested in doing that. I like the outdoors. I like showing you guys where I'm at, and I love traveling. I love sleeping in my van, and I love going to these very tragic scenes. It's just a thing that I do. And while these women are defaming the characters of several of those kids at the party, these kids are getting death threats. People are shunning them at school. They're ruining kids' reputations, and you know, they might look at it later on and say it's not a big deal, but it's a big deal to them because they're 16 and they're living life now. They're living life now. And these two, along with the other little 1,000 subscriber channel YouTubers and people on Instagram and Facebook believing their nonsense. Who killed Kiely Rodni? What happened? Nothing happened. She was drunk and she crashed into this lake. The end of the story. That's it. That's it. And let me tell you something. We all make money. We all monetize off of people's pain. Everybody does it. I do it. Some of you watching, you do it too. It's one thing to talk about somebody's pain and agony, and I don't care when it happened, okay? I don't care when it happened, okay? It could be a current event. It could have happened 50 years, 100 years. It doesn't matter. You're still doing it, and I'm still doing it too, and I acknowledge that. It's one thing to cash in on this girl's tragic death, because all she was 16 years old, and she made a mistake. That's it. I was 16 years old too a long time ago, and I made mistakes just like Kiely did. Not where I was driving a car drunk, but I made mistakes. And thankfully, I didn't pay for it with my life, and unfortunately, she did. And now, you know, it's been a year later, and you have that, I don't even know his name, some goofy rapper, calls himself a rapper, with his stupid little clown fans. And he's another YouTuber that is just lying and all this nonsense. What I want to know is, because this is turning into a rant now, but whatever. What I want to know is, why was this story chosen by the media to just put a microscope on? There's so many missing people, it's ridiculous. There's a girl that's been missing out of Selma, Alabama, I think for 4 or 5 years now. And when I get out there, I'm going to do that story. Why ain't nobody talking about her? Why ain't nobody talking about her? But everybody's talking about this story. I don't get it. I don't understand. This was just a girl that drank too much and an unfortunate accident took place. Now, do I have proof that she drank too much? Other than what people have said, they corroborated seeing her drink. That's all I know. I don't even think there was an autopsy done and it was determined that she drowned. Duh. I'm not sure if there was any kind of a toxicology report because alcohol doesn't stay in your system very long. So Kiely Rodni, she would have been dead within 10 minutes. Like completely dead. And all these kids, you know, the only thing they're guilty of is just not, you know, somebody. It would have just took one kid, one person, one young adult, whoever, just one. Take those keys from her. Hey, leave the car here. I don't care. You can leave it right here. I don't care. You ain't driving home. I'm gonna drive you. Or we will stay in this damn car and sleep in it until the morning. Not one kid did that. Not one. And would have prevented the Rodni family from having to live this awful tragedy. You're not supposed to bury your kid, and it just, I'm sure the mother and father, I'm sure it pains them immensely because it was just, it's one thing to have a child to die in a needless accident, but just to die in such a public fashion and then have everybody making money on it, including me, because I'm going to be doing the same thing. And if I don't do it on this video, I'm going to do it on the next video. And I readily admit it. Ain't no shame in my game. Not at all. But to have people defaming her name and defaming the names and characters of those kids at the party. Hey, if you want to call them out and say, why don't you guys grab her keys? Yeah, call them out for that. Don't call them out for murdering her. And then you got morons talking about a tow truck driver was seen on some camera, some ridiculous goofs. You know, I tell you kids, it's easy. It's so easy. It's so easy to just sit back in the comfort of your YouTube studio, your Facebook studio, and you're making tens of thousands of dollars a month. Tens of thousands of dollars a month. Tens of thousands of dollars a month. Let me tell you something, guys. Some of these YouTubers, they do quite well. They do quite well. And while they're complaining about their dream home not being able to be built or it's behind schedule. Oh my God, I built my dream home and it's behind schedule. Oh my God, you poor woman. Poor $40,000, $60,000 a month woman. You poor thing. Oh. Rents are going up, gas is going up, food is going up. Don't tell me about food. Let me tell you something. I am very fortunate that I'm able to make a living off of this, and I always, guys, I pinch myself sometimes. Literally, I'm pitching myself right now because I am blessed, and I was blessed with the opportunity to make a living, even though it's, you know, making a living off the dead. Hey, it is what it is. I admit it. I never take anything for granted. I never take my health. I never take my life. I'm not even taking for granted right now me being able to walk up to this memorial. And this is all that's left for Kiely Rodni. I don't believe she has a grave. She's more than likely cremated. And I'm sure her family has the ashes. Maybe they'll inter them at a later date and time. I don't know. It hits different when you're here. It's one thing to talk about something and you're just thousands of miles away in your mansion. It's another thing to walk the same path where an unfortunate soul tragically lost her life. It hits different. It just does. And I simply came out here to show you the location, because that's what my channel is about, showing you the location, going to the location, and just talking about, you know, unfortunate events. And to call out a certain few out there, not for them making money off of this tragedy, not at all. I say make as much money as you can, but stop with the red flags and stop with the innuendos and stop with the lies. Because some of those kids, yeah, they deserve to be called out for not stopping her from getting in her car and leaving, but you know, today's teenager is not the teenager of the days that I grew up. They're a lot more fragile mentally, and you got social media and pressures from that, and you're making people look bad. You're accusing people of committing crimes. You never know. You'd be liable to make one of those kids do something terrible to themselves. Hey, the same, what I'm saying right now goes for me too. Sometimes we gotta be careful what we say, because our megaphone is a lot louder than others. My megaphone ain't that big, but it's a lot bigger than most. And you got to be cognizant of the fact that what you say and you put out on Facebook, you put out on Instagram, you put out on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, that has ramifications on not only you, but other people that you're speaking about. And I'm aware of this. I am aware of this. Okay, guys, rest in peace to Kiely Rodney. I am out of here. I'm hitting the road. Next destination, it's going to be California. Many, many untold stories, locations for me to go over there. And I look forward to bringing you guys along my journey. And last but not least, I thank every single one of you for watching my videos. I know you don't have to watch them, but I thank every single one of you from the bottom of my heart, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I do today. And I mean that. I truly, truly mean that. More to come. Live but not live, still alive by the grace of God. Never take a day for granted. Lamont at large. I'm signing out. Peace out.